Today we are looking closely at one of the most familiar and beloved coins in American history, the United States Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny dated 1957, struck without a mint mark. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it carries decades of history, symbolism, and collector interest that make it special even today. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny was produced during a time when the United States was experiencing economic growth, cultural change, and global influence following World War II. By this year, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly half a century, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the 1957 wheat penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces to the right, with the word Liberty clearly visible on the left side of the coin and the date 1957 on the right. Above Lincoln's head is the famous motto "I in God we trust," which reflects the values and beliefs of the nation during that era. Because this coin has no mint mark, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on pennies at that time. The Philadelphia Mint was the primary producer of circulating coinage, and in 1957 it struck an enormous number of Lincoln cents to meet everyday demand. Turning to the reverse side, we see the classic wheat ears design that gives the wheat penny its popular nickname. Two curved wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent in the center, with United States of America written below. At the top of the reverse is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. This reverse design symbolized America's agricultural strength and unity and remained in use from 1909 until 1958, making the 1957 issue one of the final years of the wheat penny era. Just 1 year later, in 1959, the design would change to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the end of an important chapter in U.S. coinage history. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a solid feel and warm reddish-brown color when well preserved. Each coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. At the time of its release, this penny had real purchasing power and was commonly used for everyday transactions such as buying candy, newspapers, or small household items. Millions of Americans carried these coins in their pockets, often without realizing the historical value they represented. In terms of mintage, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Lincoln cents in 1957, which makes this coin quite common in circulated condition. Because of this high production, most 1957 wheat pennies found today are worn and show signs of long circulation, such as smooth details, dark coloration, or surface marks. However, collector value can increase significantly depending on condition. Coins that retain sharp details, strong lettering, and original luster are more desirable, especially those graded in uncirculated condition. Even though it is not considered a rare date, the 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny remains popular among collectors, especially beginners building a complete wheat cent collection. In circulated condition, its value is usually modest, often just a few cents above face value, mainly due to its copper content. In higher grades, particularly red or red-brown uncirculated examples, the value can rise noticeably, sometimes reaching several dollars depending on quality and eye appeal. Errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual planchet flaws, can also add significant interest and value for specialized collectors. What truly makes the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny special is not just its market value, but its connection to everyday American life in the 1950s. This coin circulated during a time of classic cars, early television, post-war optimism, and major historical events. Holding one today is like holding a small piece of that era in your hand. It reminds us how simple objects can carry stories across generations, linking the past to the present through metal and design. For coin enthusiasts, history lovers, and collectors alike, the 1957 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny without a mint mark is a meaningful and nostalgic piece of American numismatic heritage. Whether found in a collection, a jar of old coins, or passed down through family, it represents more than just 1 cent. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln on American coinage. Next coin. The 1936 Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin is a small piece of copper, but it carries a powerful story from one of the most challenging and transformative periods in American history. When you hold a 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark in your hand, you are holding a coin that was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the main mint of the United States at that time. The absence of a mint mark is not a mistake or damage. It is a clear sign that this coin was produced in Philadelphia, where most U.S. cents were made during the 1930s. This coin was minted during the final years of the Great Depression, a time when the American economy was slowly recovering, families were rebuilding their lives, and every penny truly mattered. The obverse of the 1936 Lincoln Wheat penny features the familiar right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real historical person. On the front of the coin, the word Liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait, while the date 1936 is placed on the right. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that held deep meaning during difficult economic times, offering hope and faith to the American people. The reverse side of the coin displays the iconic wheat ears design, which is why collectors commonly call it the wheat penny. Two wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges of the coin, symbolizing prosperity, agriculture, and America's farming heritage. Between the wheat ears, the words 1 cent are boldly displayed, with United States of America just below. At the top of the reverse, the motto E pluribus unum appears, meaning out of many, one, a reminder of national unity during a period when unity was desperately needed. The 1936 Lincoln Wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a warm reddish-brown color when new. Over time, many of these coins have naturally toned to brown due to circulation and exposure, which is completely normal. In 1936, over 309 million Lincoln cents were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, making this coin relatively common compared to earlier wheat pennies. However, its historical context and classic design continue to make it highly collectible today. Because the 1936 wheat penny was produced in large numbers, its value depends heavily on condition. Coins that show heavy wear, with smooth details and faded lettering, are usually worth only a small premium over face value. Lightly circulated examples, where Lincoln's facial features and the wheat ears remain clear, can be worth a few dollars. Uncirculated coins, especially those with original red copper color and strong strike details, can be worth significantly more. Coins graded in high mint state condition by professional grading services can reach much higher values, especially if they retain their bright red surface. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality and surface preservation. A well-struck 1936 penny will show clear separation in Lincoln's hair, sharp lettering, and strong wheat lines on the reverse. Coins with minimal scratches, no corrosion, and even coloration are always more desirable. While major errors are rare for this year, minor die cracks or weak strikes can sometimes be found and may add interest for specialized collectors. Beyond value, the 1936 Lincoln Wheat penny represents a meaningful connection to American history. This coin circulated in the hands of workers, farmers, shopkeepers, and children during a time when a single cent could buy candy, a newspaper, or contribute to a family's daily needs. It was used during the era of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs, when the nation was focused on recovery, infrastructure, and hope for a better future. Today, the 1936 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny remains a favorite among both beginner and experienced collectors. It is often included in wheat penny albums and collections because it is affordable, historically important, and visually iconic. Whether found in an old coin jar, inherited collection, or purchased from a dealer, this coin continues to tell the story of America's resilience and growth. In the end, the 1936 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent without a mint mark is more than just an old coin. It is a symbol of endurance, craftsmanship, and history, preserved in copper for future generations to study, collect, and appreciate. Every scratch, tone change, and worn edge adds to its journey through time, making it a quiet witness to nearly a century of American life. Next coin. The Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny from the year 1955 is one of the most talked about and closely watched coins in American numismatic history, even when it appears worn, dark, or circulated. When you hold a 1955 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in your hand, you are touching a small piece of mid-20th century America, a time when the nation was rebuilding, expanding, and redefining itself after World War II. This penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark, and millions of these coins entered daily circulation, passing through countless hands in grocery stores, diners, gas stations, and local markets. On the obverse side of the coin, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln faces right, a design created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above Lincoln's head is the word Liberty, while the date 1955 appears to the right. Just below the date, there is no mint mark, confirming that this penny was struck in Philadelphia and not in Denver, which would have used a mint mark. The motto "In God We Trust" arches across the top, a powerful phrase that reflected the cultural and political mindset of the United States during the 1950s. Turning the coin over reveals the iconic wheat ears design on the reverse, with two stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the reverse, the Latin motto E pluribus unum is clearly visible. This wheat design symbolized prosperity, agriculture, and growth, values deeply rooted in American identity at the time. The wheat penny series ran from 1909 until 1958, making the 1955 issue part of the final chapter of this beloved design. The metal composition of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin its warm reddish-brown tone when new. Over time, many of these pennies darkened or developed patina due to circulation and environmental exposure. A black or dirty appearance does not automatically reduce a coin's historical importance, though it does affect collectible value depending on condition. Most 1955 wheat pennies without a mint mark were heavily used, making high-grade examples much harder to find today. What makes the year 1955 especially famous among collectors is the legendary 1955 doubled die obverse variety. While not every 1955 penny shows this error, some coins were struck with a dramatic doubling on the date and inscriptions, making them extremely valuable. These doubled die pennies were also produced at the Philadelphia Mint, meaning they too have no mint mark. However, even a normal 1955 wheat penny without doubling still holds strong interest for collectors due to the year's reputation and demand. In average circulated condition, a regular 1955 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark is generally valued modestly, often ranging from a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on wear and eye appeal. Coins in better condition, especially those with original red copper color or minimal circulation marks, can command higher prices in today's collector market. Uncirculated examples may sell for significantly more, especially when certified by professional grading services. Collectors around the world continue to search through old jars, rolls, and inherited collections hoping to find a 1955 wheat penny, particularly one with the double die error. This ongoing treasure hunt keeps interest in the coin alive decades after it stopped circulating. Even when a coin shows scratches, discoloration, or heavy wear, it still tells a story of everyday American life in the 1950s. The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark is more than just a 1-cent coin. It represents an era, a design that lasted nearly half a century, and a moment in U.S. mint history that still excites collectors today. Whether you own a single example or are actively searching for one, this penny remains a timeless symbol of American heritage, proving that even the smallest denomination can carry great historical and collectible significance. Next coin. Today we are looking closely at a classic American coin that many people still find in old collections, drawers, and inherited boxes, the United States Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny dated 1949 with no mint mark. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it carries deep historical meaning and quiet collector interest that connects directly to post-World War II America. The year 1949 represents a moment when the United States was rebuilding, growing stronger economically, and entering a new era of global influence, and this penny was part of everyday life during that transformation. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. In U.S. coinage, the absence of a mint mark during this period always indicates Philadelphia. Millions of these pennies were struck to meet the needs of a growing population, as people used them daily for groceries, newspapers, transportation, and small purchases. Because of this heavy circulation, finding examples today often means seeing signs of wear, dark toning, or surface marks that tell the story of decades of use. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile faces right, with the word Liberty clearly visible to the left and the date, 1949, to the right. Above Lincoln's head is the familiar motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that carried strong emotional significance in post-war America, symbolizing faith, unity, and national identity during uncertain times. Brenner's initials, VDB, appear subtly on the shoulder of Lincoln, reminding collectors of the artist behind one of the most famous coin designs in U.S. history. Turning the coin over, the reverse side displays the classic wheat ears design, which gives the wheat penny its popular name. Two wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top, the motto, E pluribus unum, reflects the idea of unity from many, a powerful message especially relevant in the years following World War II. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, making the wheat penny one of the longest-running and most recognizable designs in American coinage. The 1949 wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish-brown tone collectors love. Over time, exposure to air and handling causes the color to shift from bright red to brown, and sometimes to darker shades. Coins that retain more of their original red color are more desirable, while heavily circulated examples often show smooth details and darker surfaces. In terms of value, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is generally considered common, but condition plays a major role. In heavily circulated condition, its value is usually modest, often only a few cents above face value. However, coins in better condition with strong detail on Lincoln's hair, clear wheat lines, and minimal wear can be worth more to collectors. Uncirculated examples, especially those with original red color, can command significantly higher prices in the collector market. What makes this coin special is not extreme rarity, but its historical presence. This penny passed through countless hands during a time when America was shaping the modern world. It may have been used by factory workers, students, shopkeepers, or families starting new lives after the war. Each mark and scratch is a silent record of real human history. For collectors, the 1949 wheat penny is often part of a complete Lincoln cent set, and many people enjoy searching for the best example possible. Even beginners find joy in owning one because it represents an important chapter in U.S. coin history. It is also a reminder that valuable stories are not always found in rare coins, but sometimes in common ones that survived the test of time. So if you have a 1949 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny with no mint mark, take a moment to appreciate it. Look at the details, feel the weight of history in your hand, and remember that this small copper coin once played a role in everyday American life. Coins like this are more than money, they are witnesses to history, quietly carrying the past into the present.